Hello dear friends, welcome back to the lecture series of Jet Propulsion and Aircraft Engineering. This is lecture 4 of Fundamentals of Gas Dynamics. These are the outlines of today's session in which we are going to study Mach cone, Mach waves, Mach angle and isentropic. So in previous video session we have covered Mach number and its properties. So today we are going to see these things in a detail. Now here you can see this diagram represent the Mach cones, Mach waves and Mach angles. Let's consider a solid body which is moving in stationary fluids. Now this body would generate the pressure waves in the fluid, and these pressure waves gets transmitted into the another particles or other particles which are remain into the fluid. Now these particles get transmitted at the velocity of sound, and these sound waves form the spherical waves into the stationary fluid that you can see in this diagram. So basically you would see the spherical forms in this diagram in which the Mach line, Mach angle and Mach cone has been shown. Mach line is also known as the Mach waves. So Mach waves which are generated from the source S from which the solid body moves, and the locus of Mach line or Mach waves is known as the Mach cones that you can see in this diagram over here. Also the Mach angle. Mach angle, it is the angle made by the source or the point of the source to the Mach line. So you can see the Mach angle is a half of the Mach cone in the diagram over here. Now we are going to see all these three terms in detail: Mach cone, Mach waves and Mach angle through their definition. So let's start with the Mach cone. You can see over here the definitions of Mach cones, that the tangent drawn from the point of S, which is the source, through the spheres on a conical surface is referred as or is known as the Mach cone. So the spherical waves which has been generated through the source, if you drew the tangent line, two tangent line on the surface of this spherical wave, you will get the Mach cones. Now the region inside the cone is known as the zone of action, which we have referred in previous video session, and the region which remain outside of the cone is known as the zone of silence. So you wouldn't have feel anything if you had remained outside the Mach cones. Now the Mach cones, which is certainly connected with the Mach number. We know that the definition of Mach number is a ratio of fluid velocity to velocity of sound. So as the Mach number is higher, the aircraft would remain at the faster speed, and at the aircraft move at the faster speed, the Mach number Mach cone would be smaller. On the opposite end, if the Mach number is lower, means the speed of the aircraft is slower, and if the aircraft speed is slower, there would be a higher angle of the Mach cone or the higher Mach cone. So Mach cone is directly associated with the Mach number, which is the speed of the object. Next one is a Mach waves, which is also known as Mach lines. So the line at which the pressure difference is created or concentrated, which generate the ultimate cone, which is also known as the Mach cone, is called the Mach waves or Mach lines. So Mach lines is basically generated from the source, from the point of source. As I said, let's consider the solid body which is moving in a straight line in the stationary fluid. Now because of that, the pressure waves are generated, and those waves would be at the velocity of sound, and therefore these are the known as the Mach waves or the Mach lines, which is generated from the source. Then after, Mach angle. Mach angle is a nothing but an angle between the Mach line and the direction of motion of the solid body. So basically, as we have seen in the previous diagram, that the center, through the center, if you draw a straight line through the center and create the angle between the straight line and the Mach line, you will get the angle, and that angle is known as the Mach angle. Mach angle is basically helpful for the formations of Mach cone, and which is half of the Mach cone. Now let's move forward to the next topic, which is isentropic flow. Now isentropic flow, that need to be studied, which is very important, and that need to be studied as well. In isentropic flow, the entropy is 0 and there is a no heat transfer, so we can say the Q is equal to 0 as well. In isentropic process, there is a no heat transfer from the fluid to the surrounding area if we consider the fluid is flowing in confined space or in enclosed space. So there is a no heat transfer from the fluid to the surrounding medium, or you also can say that there is no any heat transfer from the surrounding medium to the fluid. So basically that process is known as the isentropic process, in which there is no any heat transfer or the energy transfer because of the friction or dissipative actions. So that process is known as the isentropic process. In the isentropic process, as I said, the entropies remain constants, and therefore the isentropic process can also be stated, or which can be also referred as the reversible adiabatic process. Now in this slide we are going to learn what would be the Mach number variation for variable area. As we know, for the different Mach number, we'll get the different variable area, and what would be the effect of the variation of Mach number on the variable area. So first of all, let's start the equation with the stagnation enthalpy. You know the stagnation enthalpy, HO, is equal to H plus C square divided by 2, right? So that was derived about a couple of video session ago, where we have gone through the stagnation conditions and its parameter. So this is one of them, a stagnation enthalpy. Now stagnation enthalpy can also be write as H plus C square divided by 2 is equal to HO, that is constant. Here the HO is a stagnation enthalpy, H is a static enthalpy, and C is a fluid velocity. So here I should be able to write H plus C square divided by 2 is equal to HO, and that is constant. Now let's differentiate this equation. Let's differentiate this equation, and I should be able to get DH plus 2 CDC divided by 2 is equal to 0. After differentiation, we'll get this equation. Now let's eliminate 2 from numerator and denominator, and we'll get the DH plus CDC is equal to 2, and let's mark this is as a equation number 2.1. Now we know for the isentropic flow there is a relation is given, and the relation is DH is equal to dP divided by rho, where H is the enthalpy, P is the pressure, and rho is a density. So DH is equal to dP divided by rho. Now let's put the values of DH and replace it with the DH. So let's put the equation values of equation of 2.1, and we'll get dP divided by rho plus CDC is equal to 0, since we know that DH is equal to CDC. Now I should be able to write down dP divided by rho is equal to minus CDC, and therefore dP is equal to, I'm going to take the rho on the other hand, so I'll get dP is equal to minus rho C dC, and let's say this is equation number 2.2. So these are the two different equations that we get in this slide. Now let's move forward. We know that mass flow rate M is equal to rho AC, and that is constant. So rho AC, since rho AC is equal to constant, we'll take the log on the both side, and I should be able to write down ln rho plus ln A plus ln C is equal to 0. Now let's differentiate this equation, and I'll get d rho upon rho plus dA upon A plus dc upon c is equal to 0. So therefore I could write dc upon c is equal to minus d rho upon rho plus dA upon A. Here what we have done, we just got all these two values into the other direction. So what we have done, we moved d rho upon rho and dA upon A into the other side, and we have found out the values for the dc upon C. Now since we got dc upon C is equal to minus d rho upon rho plus dA upon A, what we are going to take, I'm going to move the C into the other side as well, and the equation would become dc is equal to minus C inside the bracket d rho upon rho plus dA upon A. Now we have already derived couple of values in equation number 2.1 and equation number 2.2. So let's substitute the values of dc in equation number 2.2. So this is what we got here as a dc, and now I'm going to put the values of dc in equation number 2.2. So we'll get dp is equal to minus rho c inside the bracket minus c in another bracket dp upon rho plus dA upon A, and couple of brackets completed. So since, let's simplify this equation, I should be able to get dp is equal to rho c square. I've just took the c out, so I'll get rho c square inside the bracket d rho upon rho plus dA upon A. So therefore d rho upon rho plus dA upon A is equal to dp upon rho c square, and therefore dA upon A, what we have done here, we just put the values of d rho upon rho into the other hand, and we are trying to find out the values of dA upon A, which is the variable area. So dA upon A is equal to dp divided by rho c square minus d rho upon rho. So let's even simplify that is a little bit further, and we'll get dA upon A is equal to dp upon rho c square inside the bracket 1 minus rho c square divided by dp into d rho upon rho. So we just replace the values of d rho upon rho, and we put those values into the above equation. So now I get dA upon A is equal to dp rho c square inside the bracket 1 minus c square into d rho upon dp, bracket complete. Now for isentropic flow, we know that dp upon d rho is equal to A square. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to take the values which we have got in previous slide for the dA upon A, and I'm going to put the values of dp upon d rho is equal to A square in that equation. So what I'll get now, dA upon A is equal to dp upon rho c square inside the bracket 1 minus c square divided by A square, where c is the velocity of fluid and A is the velocity of sound, and the ratio between the fluid velocity to sound velocity is known as the Mach number, that we already know. So what we are going to do, we are going to replace it with the Mach number capital M. So now rewrite again the equation, and I get dA upon A is equal to dp upon rho c square inside the bracket 1 minus m square. Let's say this is equation number 2.4. So from this equation I should be able to say that if we change the Mach number, if there is any variation in Mach number, that would certainly affect the variable area, that would certainly affect the area. So this equation is considered to enhance or reduce the area passage for the various values of the Mach number, and this is also very important in terms of the GTU exam as well. So we have understood how does the change in Mach number that affect the change in area. So this is all at the moment. If you have any doubt regarding the Mach cone, Mach waves, Mach angle, or even the isentropic flow, you can write down in the comment box. Thank you very much for attending the session. Thank you.